The diary starts in 2063. One day, when Oliver went back home to Bury Road from school, he spotted some cracks on the steel wall near home. 2 weeks later, he found the wall disappear into the water. This incident gained media attention, connecting it to a vote held in 2042 that resulted in a new river management policy. In February 2042, the environmental agency claimed that the flood defenses in Ipswich would reach the end of their lifespan within 30 years. Due to the substantial fee, Ipswich Council held a vote to decide whether to increase tax for new higher flood protection or allow the river to flow naturally without renewing. Although the waiving of flood protection seems more extreme, it can buffer the flow by replacing hard engineering with soft. The vote resulted in 46% to 54% in favor of not renewing the defenses. On November 5th, there is a heavy rain and Oliver's garden became wet and damaged. A year later, a local architecture firm started offering proposals to redesign houses in response to the flooding. Oliver and his parents decided to renovate their house. Architects visited their home and provided them a 2 design option. Both involved raising the floor by 30 cm, while the window layout are different. Oliver is happy with his new home, and he thinks the effect of rising water level actually enhanced the overall aesthetic of the house. Fast forward to 2000 and Oliver's second diary. Oliver noticed the damage on the concrete wall along the new cut. Also, the brick wall near the entrance of Wet Dock is started breaking down. On 2113, when he took a walk to the south of Ipswich, he witnessed the severity of flooding, but thanks to Ipswich's tidal barrier, the houses in the city centre are still protected. From this period, local media began reporting on the significance of rising sea levels. The sea level has increased by approximately 1 meter within 100 years. However, due to the waiver of the flood defenses, the speed of rise was not as rapid as predicted. The newspaper also indicated the change in wildlife. When Oliver looked at the old photo from 2023, he was shocked by the dynamic change of sea levels. After his daughter Sophie saw the news, she returned to Ipswich and suggested her parents to move away from the river. However, Oliver remained steadfast not to move. Therefore, she took an initiative to contact an architecture firm featured in the newspaper. The architects provided them with 2 alternatives with a wall around the ground floor that would protect the house until the sea level increased by nearly 2 meters. This new proposal would offer a beautiful underwater view. A few months later, Oliver noticed that the river is heavily polluted by the debris from flood defenses. In March, a river cleanup activity was held by Ipswich Wildlife Group. Oliver and his wife participated in it. With the debris collected in the cleanup activity, our students at the University of Suffolk have held an exhibition called Reclaim Memories, testing the legacy of River Orwell. Time passed, and the diaries passed on to his daughter Sophie, who has married and returned to live with her family in Ipswich. On March 26 of 2128, she watched a documentary showing the transformation of Ipswich, particularly playing the change of the landscape to marshland in south of Ipswich. The change of landscape provided wildlife with new habitat, resulting in an increase in fish. and Sophie visited the newly opened fishing hut for a day of fishing. 1 year later, Sophie came across news about the removal of the Ipswich tidal barrier, and gradually, in about 7 months, the island and the wet dock are covered by the water. The riverside in the city center was now at risk. On October 11th, Sophie woke up to find out the outside completely submerged in water. Luckily, they live in a house with a ground floor parking area, but they still took a protective action to putting sandbag on the entrance. However, she heard from the friends on Bury Road that the water started to inflate the ground floors. Sophie's parents said their home is fine with protective wall. She was glad that they had made the early decision. After that, architectural firms offered a new design scheme with a more dramatic change to adapt to the present environmental conditions. After several years, Ipswich Council held a competition for a unique flood alert design. A pavilion-style flood alert has been adopted, serving not only as a warning system that emits lights and sounds, but also a space to reconnect with nature. Which natural ingredients help Ipswich to develop to let people recall the importance of nature. People are adapting change and started to live with the flood. And the house would also keep accommodating. The diary concludes here, but Ipswich will keep changing by approaching nature with a soft and gentle touch and the harmonious coexistence of humans and nature. It's a story of resilience, innovation, and the ongoing transformation of Ipswich.